Hey Deckers, Liam here. There's been a fair bit of, dare I say, doom and gloom I've seen with the Steam Deck lately now that the ROG Ally is coming out. But really, I think the Steam Deck is firmly here to stay. When the ROG Ally got a full announcement, the official Steam Deck Twitter account actually congratulated Asus on the announcement of the ROG Ally. Valve even said that they're excited to see the PC handheld ecosystem continue to grow and for players to have more ways to play their games on the go. While it may be Steam Deck competition, it's not necessarily competition for Valve because you're still going to be buying your games on Steam, which still gives Valve more money to then continue to put into the Steam Deck in the future anyway. And not only did they do that, but Valve also put up a brand new advert for the Steam Deck not long after. It's a little unexpected, don't you think, considering how long the Steam Deck has now been available for? Perhaps Valve's Steam Deck team are trying to sort of preempt the battle to come to get word out a little bit more. And it's not a very long video, but it's still a nice little spot. Perhaps maybe they're preparing it to air across traditional TV media to get it onto more screens. I don't know. What do you think? It just seems like a bit of a coincidence that the Asus Ally is coming out and now they're doing another brand new advert. As for the Ally versus the Steam Deck, I think there's plenty of room for them both, especially given the excellent pricing of the base model of the Steam Deck, which is a fantastic entry into handheld PC gaming. And the entry model, along with the 256 model, are constantly sold out in the UK right now. I did ask Valve for an update on the stock, but they didn't reply. It seems other countries do still have stock, and I'm seeing people talking about buying them all the time, so it's still very popular. And talking about being on more screens, in my last Roundup news video, I talked about a teaser of a possible Steam Deck screen mod. Well, it didn't take long for the official announcement to come out from Deck HD. They will be providing a 1200p screen mod for the Steam Deck they estimate will be around $99. Not only will it bump up the resolution, but the color clarity on it, they claim, is much better than the existing Steam Deck screen. Now, as fun as this mod sounds, I would urge you to really think it through. The deck already struggles in various of the latest AAA games as it is, and bumping up that resolution even higher is only going to cause more problems, I think, in the long run. Along with the increased power draw, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Unless you are specifically playing a lot of older games, then maybe. But what about if they did a screen at 800p with the better colouring? Now that would probably sell quite a lot. Aside from that though, actually doing a Steam Deck screen replacement is not an easy task with so many things that you could screw up. You have to take it completely apart. It's just not the best idea overall. What is a good idea though is the upcoming OmniCase 2 and 2 Pro from JZox. It's a 10 or 12-in-1 docking station, not like what they've done before though. It comes in a compact case that you open up, giving you a really nicely portable way to expand your Steam Deck ports no matter where you are, or for a laptop as well. JZox did send me one, which I have been exclusively using instead of all my other docks for a little while now. While I won't give a full opinion on it just yet because I'm not really supposed to until after release, I will say I've been pleasantly surprised by this. So I think it's one that you're going to want to put on your watch list because it seems extremely useful. Talking about being useful, Valve issued another update to Proton Experimental just recently as well, which includes Super Bomberman R as newly playable. They fixed up the Elder Scrolls Online displaying an empty or flickering launcher window, so that should work properly now. They improved video playback in RoboQuest. They fixed a regression that made Portal RTX not playable, and they fixed various memory leaks during video playback that were affecting the last Street Fighter VI beta. And just a quick note in regards to the previous teaser of the Proton BattlEye runtime being upgraded twice recently after a long period of inactivity. There's been no word from Valve on what it was for, and I haven't seen any games using it suddenly announce support recently or suddenly start working, so I'm really curious to know what they're up to. In other related Proton news, VKD3D Proton, the translation layer that converts DirectX 12 into Vulkan for Proton, had a big upgrade. Version 2.2 came out with plenty of performance improvements and compatibility upgrades coming to Proton. This includes an update to the detection of the Direct3D 12 DLL files so that more games will actually load. There's been some more performance improvements, including reduced system requirements on a first run of a game, improved shader compiling in some edge cases where there'll be less stutter, improved CPU performance, and improvements to VRAM over subscription behavior. There's lots of other little additions like bug fixes, GPU driver workarounds, various fixes to specific games, but they didn't actually list any in this changelog because it sounds like there's just too many. And there's improvements for developers as well that will just help them continue working on Proton. Now here's an odd one for you. The developer Mundfish updated Atomic Heart a little while ago, and people noticed that the graphics settings on Steam Deck just vanished. They claimed on Reddit around a month ago that it was a bug and it would be fixed. But then they posted a Twitter statement about it being intentional, and I quote them here. "We hear all your feedback. Removing the graphic settings in Atomic Heart on Steam Deck was a hard decision for us to make in order to maximize performance, Steam Deck battery, and gameplay stability. Our main goal here is to provide best game performance on every platform." After some backlash though, they posted a news statement that reads, and I quote here again, "Our team, striving to provide all players with the best experience, continued looking for ways to maximize Atomic Heart performance and is glad to announce that it has been made possible to add specific graphics settings relevant for Steam Deck with future patches. Stay tuned." Now, I get for some that a console-like experience may be better, but the Steam Deck, despite what some others like to bait you into arguments over, it's not a console. It is a PC. Everything about it is a PC, just running a customized Linux distribution. Part of the point is letting you adjust things to how you want it, giving you the PC's customization in your hands. Removing player choice like that on graphic settings just doesn't sit right with me, so I really hope others don't try to do this. In other gaming related news, the good news here is that Sony will continue to publish their games on PC. In their earnings report from late April, they said clearly they will continue rolling out catalogue titles for PC. However, in a fresh interview, they've made it clear that this will not be close to the release date on PS5, with PC releases still planned to be multiple years later. Now, this does make sense. They want to sell more PS5 consoles with those games first, but I do hope that we aren't kept waiting forever on some games. Talking about games, do you remember Portal 2, the excellent puzzle game from Valve? Well, the free Portal Reloaded mod is set for a big co-op upgrade with a whole bunch of new content. It's currently in beta, which you can opt into on Steam if you wish to test it out and report any bugs, with the full update planned to release later in the summer. Not only will it include a whole bunch of new levels to play through, but they've updated some of the mechanics for the single player as well, just to make it better. Now, if like me, you love Valheim, the open world online co-op survival game, you might want to also try out their new beta, which released recently, bringing with it a whole bunch of performance improvements, which could be especially helpful for the Steam Deck. They said that the patch includes a lot of optimizations for many underlying systems of the game to improve in-game performance for both small and large worlds, network performance, load times, and to drastically decrease save file sizes. And they hope that these changes will be a significant improvement for some of you. All sounds pretty good, so go and check that out if you've been having any problems. Last on the list for games today is called Roots of Pasha. It's a basically Stardew Valley in the Stone Age with a whole bunch of unique features to set it apart and to love about it. Now, the publisher Crytevo did send over a key, and I was going to review it because I've been playing it, but there's a big problem. It has been removed from Steam as the publisher and developer are fighting over the publishing contract. Both teams released a statement, basically sort of blaming the other side for the fight. It's such a huge shame because everything about it is quite wonderful, and they've even just recently produced a native Linux port of the game, which apparently works even better than running it through Proton. Once the situation is sorted, I'll be sure to take a proper look at it. Finally, a quick question. Are you still finding that you're buying games more than you ever used to thanks to having the Steam Deck? I am, and it's becoming something of a curse because my wallet is just empty constantly. Let me know what you've picked up recently and what you're enjoying in the comments. Also, be sure to check out my previous video on the Outlast trials, as it's one horror fans simply cannot miss out on, and it is quite amazing on the Steam Deck, and it's verified, properly verified as well. But that's it for today. Thank you again for following and for coming along, and I will see you later.